James Harden's used the league for years. Sixers kind of used him for a year and a half until Maxey elevated to a number 2 behind Embiid. Now they can move off James Harden. Knicks doesn't fit. Heat, Clippers, interesting. Word this morning, Clippers Harden. They can move off Westbrook. They need a point guard. He's from L.A. He's a good facilitator. Won't play any defense, but Paul George and Kawhi do. That's probably your best fit. You could argue that's the best fit. But all these years later, to me, James Harden is known for 3 things. The beard, drawing cheap fouls, and trade requests. That's the James Harden triple-double. Beard, drawing cheap fouls, trade requests. He's still productive, 2010 guy, but no defense, no leadership, getting old fast because he never took care of his body, doesn't really fit in many places. Clippers tends to work, but it has a Brooklyn feel, KD, Kyrie, Harden feel to it. The difference, of course, is that Harden, Kawhi, and Paul George are a better basketball fit, and he doesn't play a lick of D, but Harden and Kawhi are great defenders, so it works. But James Harden is an example. Right? We're always worried about sending our kids to the good schools, and that matters some. But James Harden is a great example. You will be as successful as your effort level and your personality allows. Harden is strictly an offensive player, quirky personality. You can't build around him. Defense, awful. Conditioning, below average. That's what his effort level, that's what his personality allowed him to be. You get these occasional athletes who are just all-time greats. I never bought into the Kobe and MJ comp. Daryl Morey said years ago, I mean, he's a better scorer. Analytics prove it than MJ. The difference, of course, is that when you hold yourself accountable, it's much easier to hold others accountable. But Harden could never hold other teammates accountable. He wasn't even in good shape. He didn't play any defense. So how are you going to hold other guys accountable when you don't come into camp in shape, when you play your way into shape? Kobe, MJ, relentless. But the key to both is they were so intense and so committed, they could tell guys, this is how hard I work. Work this hard or you're done. James Harden's game to me always felt a little like a tax loophole. No, seriously. He caught the IRS/NBA off guard. Right? Nobody saw it coming, the step back move. Nobody was quite sure it was legal. And then the NBA/IRS mostly eliminated the loophole, and it was never the same. Semi-effective, never the same. He was the tax loophole of the league. But in your life, you can go to this school, you can have those parents, your effort level/commitment and your personality will define how far you're going to go. Some people can't get out of their own way, regardless if they went to Harvard and prep school. They can't get out of their own way. They don't play well with others. They don't lubricate. They constantly agitate. They're know-it-alls. They're not committed. They're not really leaders. I mean, Steph Curry is older than James Harden. But because of his personality, plays well with others, his commitment and effort level, he is a fully charged battery. James Harden, a little stockier, maybe a little better athlete. Maybe. I mean, he didn't go to Davidson. Better athlete, but he's a battery you're hoping makes it to the end of the road trip. So James Harden being moved out of Philly as he should be. Clippers probably the best fit, but he doesn't really fit perfectly anywhere. Steph Curry, older, fits everywhere. So for years and years, have had this player that I really like. And I think I felt sorry for him. I think there's just lots of people in America who are super talented and work really hard, but they have bad bosses. They're in a company with a bad, corrosive culture. They're not appreciated. There's a lot of second and third rounders in life who, they're really good at what they do, whatever it is they do. But, they work for bad people, bad culture. Bradley Beal is one of those. I mean, the Washington Wizards, for 11 years, he was there. 11 years, 3 coaches, different general managers, the immature John Wall, multiple teammates, can't keep track. He was always committed, always classy, always productive. He's now a Phoenix Sun. Press conference yesterday, here he was.
I don't look at the NBA like that. I don't look at it as, oh, it's my team. Oh, it's your team. Like, it's everybody. Like, we all got to compete. We all got to do this thing together and make it happen. But understand that, you know, this is Book Nation. Like, understand that this is his stomping grounds. This is his arena. And I'm excited for that. I'm excited to be able to play with 2 Hall of Famers, you know? Like, I've never done that, you know? So I'm excited about it. I'm excited what that brings. And they'll push me in ways I've never been pushed. You know, so I'm excited about that, and hopefully I can do the same.
I don't know how you don't love this fit and love that guy. Never complained, loyal team guy in a corrosive clown car in the Washington Wizards. Never complained. He'll be so appreciative and so energized by Phoenix, which, by the way, has had their issues. They got rid of a bad owner. They've moved through some coaches. But a good guy and a good player finally gets to a good team. Let me give you an example of where I've seen this before. Matt Stafford, 12 years, the chaos of Detroit. Finally got a legitimate owner, a legitimate coach, some really good players, and won a Super Bowl. Kevin Garnett, 12 years of nonsense in Minnesota. Finally got a legitimate organization, surrounded by good players, a winning organization, got the Celtics a ring. Matt Stafford, Kevin Garnett. Well, Bradley Beal's not. Bradley Beal was a number 3 pick. Bradley Beal is one of 2 NBA players in the last 4 years, one of 2, to average more than 30 points a game multiple times. He's actually doing the opposite of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron's going to a young team with an unproven coach. Aaron's going to be a little bit of the savior, front and center in New York. Bradley Beal is going to a team full of guys that have been around. A championship winning coach. They've had some success. In fact, we always wonder why they don't have a little more in recent years. He won't ask to be the savior. He won't be asked to be the leading scorer. His quote was perfect. Part of a collective, part of a team. I'll learn from others. I don't know how anybody doubts this, but he is the story you see a lot all over this great country. Talented people, corrosive environments. Somebody goes, you know, if you just gave them a better coach, a better environment, less chaos, better teammates. This is a guy in 4 years, only 2 players, average 30 multiple times. Can't wait to watch Bradley Beal finally in a great spot for a really good player. All right, J-Mac, it is Friday. Very fired up. Last day of the week.